What I'm actually doing is I'm separating out the games we rarely play or never play. We're going to take a look at what this means for us to never play or rarely play.
Excited to be digging into Game on Tabletop.
Yes, that's cool to get this started.
And so now that I'm in the system, I see that I can, manage creators right here. And then manage creators brings me to Mindjammer Press. And I can go in there and, I have the logo and I can put in the description and whatnot. But I don't see how I can actually look at their project.
Can you reload the page, please, to see if that did the deal? Yes.
Aha!
Yeah.
That is what. This is why I was like, I'm lost. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, this makes sense. So why don't you guide me through what you would like me to see, and then I'll ask you questions after that.
This is where you get your basic information. So as I was setting up, this is generally where you should be arriving. This is just different because I set up the project and it's been around a while. But here is where you will be able to monitor like the launch day, the launch time, the general language, your funding goal, stuff like that. This is basically your spot with the like really detailed information about really the core of the project to do that.
Well, I'm mostly talking about the start time.
Yeah.
So if I'm setting up a campaign and I'm not sure when I want to start it, I just want to get things set up. Do I have to have a start time?
No. Your start time, you can change that.
Okay. But you're saying once the project is launched, I can change the end date. So like, for instance, right now, I'm pretty sure the end date is going to be like, let's say sometime in July. So I can go ahead and change that to July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, funding goal, is that based on the Kickstarter or, we're using it, you guys, as a pledge manager. Yeah. So we don't really have a funding goal.
Yeah, so what happens on a pledge manager is that we will detail how much money has been raised total throughout Kickstarter or any other platform you used before, and Game On. So there will be the total, and then we will break it down because then you get the final percentage of how much % of your funding goal did you reach.
So reward levels.
Yeah, so here again, this is the dashboard. So what we do for a late pledge campaign is we first create every reward level, every pledge level that was included on the initial campaign with an identical title, because when we will do the import, of course, we need to find the same reward levels again.
And so one other thing, level ups. What are level ups?
So level ups are stretch goals. For
inside the pledge manager.
Yes. So as Game On is also a crowdfunding campaign, you have the availability of the same tools. We do get sometimes late pledge campaigns that do unlock new stretch goals, and they then will use the level ups, but not all do, of course, and so you don't have to use it probably. But this is where you would set them up in the system.
I think that might be a future conversation as well. So I think future conversations need to be payment.
Yes.
And how payments work, shipping, level ups.
Yes. 2 other subjects to cover will be the project page and what you can do with the setup on how to make it look like you want to, and the backer and data and how this is looking and how you can interact with that data. Have a great day and let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
I will. Au revoir.
Au revoir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's up to you guys whether that's a conversation you want to have.
I don't think it's really a conversation. I think it's edit the doc the way we want it to be and add some things and throw in the clip and say, hey, we made some changes. I think it's better now. I think the strict rules of grammar don't strictly apply in this particular kind of document. And I think that when you're writing this, there's an impact that comes from saying it is this until now, because you're saying it is something up until the very last second, which just happened, and that there's a particular phrasing and impact that comes from that. So and I don't think it matters so much. All right,
so
whatever.
Translation. Let's move on.
Translation. We'll come back and we'll look at it again.
Before you send it to Chris. Okay.
Yeah. I know what Lou's talking about. I don't actually agree. Simply because it actually does look and read wrong, and it kind of did to me the first time. So there's the wrongness of it, even if it's been done before. I understand what he's saying about not going past and having more present language being more effective.
If it reads wrongly to both of you, if it makes both of you go, but it's not making me go, then two people having a negative reaction is probably more likely representative of the whole. I'm often at peace with things that make other people, give them the skip.
Yeah, no, me too.
All I'm doing is I'm going to highlight it, and whoever sends it, before you send it, you'll make a decision either way.
Yeah.
This press release is going to be used currently, right? It's not something we're waiting to use in May.
Correct.
Doing is I'm separating out the games we rarely play or never play. We're going to take a look at what this means for us to never play or rarely play. Some of these are just games that are so old we've played them enough we don't need to play them anymore. Some of these are games where I have a different game that killed it for me. So like this one was killed by Valeria Card Kingdoms for me. I'll never play this again. It doesn't mean it's a bad game. Way of the Fighter, I'm sure is great. It's just not for me. The Forgotten King, there's so many dungeon exploring games nowadays that this is just old. I don't know. It's just not for me. I only put King's Abbey out here because it's so complicated. I don't have anybody who wants to learn it. Even though I bet it's a super good game.
All right. This is some of our games. And Joey and I are going to go through it and take out the ones that we want to definitely keep and the ones that we're thinking about finding new homes for. So my job is to go through and pull out the ones I definitely don't want him to get rid of. And hopefully he'll come back. So in no particular order, Onitama's definitely staying. One of my favorite recent games. Forbidden Desert definitely stays. Samurai Spirit definitely stays, even though we can't seem to win. Which is probably why it's staying. Hanabi definitely has to stay. Star Realms, of course.
Good.
I think Jesse would agree. Mysterium definitely stays in my view. Fury of Dracula has to stay. Let's see. Some of these are Joey's, and so I'll let him touch them. I need to get Mistborn and Five Tribes and Letters from Whitechapel out because they're definitely staying. Codenames, gotta stay. What else is over here? Gloom, gotta keep Gloom. Manhattan Project, Chain Reaction. Santorini. This is Joey's site, so I won't touch it. See, we're working on the English version of this, so it'll stay. Keep these. Dresden Files cooperative card game. I really like that. We did a stream with this, with the Forged by Geeks guys, and I really enjoyed this game. I hadn't actually played it before. Ooh, wait, an Arcane Academy has to stay. I think Tokaido has to stay. Ooh, Kill Dr. Lucky from Cheap Ass Games. What is this? The Garfield Games stuff definitely has to go up there. And Sentinels of the Multiverse. I'm gonna keep that one. Since we're working on, I mean, it's a great game, but also because this is the one that we're doing the video game for. Working on the video game from Byte. So this is the card game version of it. But yeah, I don't think I want to go through the RPG books because they're books and I have a hard time parting with any of them. But we definitely need to clean up our board games. We already got rid of, how many did we get rid of the other day? A good dozen or
at least, dozen? Yeah.
And I think I'll let Joey make the rest of the decisions, and then we'll have to see. Remember we were talking about space games? This one, you're like going around the sun. You're trying to you're going in. Anyways, we could talk about all these all day long.